Good evening. How are you? I'm speaking quietly because I don't want to wake up someone who's sleeping. Mhm. So good evening, everyone. How are you doing? Yes, I hope you're doing good. Because I'm doing fine. So I'm back. I thought before I go to bed, there is something that I wanted to talk about. So I'm here to talk about, I'm not going to spend much time. It's a very short video. So, good evening, guys. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, my friends. Good evening, wherever you are watching from. Good evening. So, I just thought before I go to bed, after a long day, let me talk about something that is important according to me. So, as the caption goes, I'll go straight to the point. I'll go straight forward to the point. So, I've heard and I've read that a number of suicides have increased in Zambia among young girls, especially. I don't know if I've not read anything about young boys committing suicide. So I thought of addressing this issue, and who knows, I might save 1 or 2 lives. So my issue is about those young boys and girls especially who are deciding to end their lives because they've failed examinations. So I just want to talk to you. If you are here, or if you are a parent, you're a guardian, you're a sister, you're a brother, you're an uncle, you're an auntie, a cousin, whatever, an uncle, you know, I'm here to talk to your girls especially, because I've been seeing these posts especially on Facebook, and I've read the news that it's rampant right now because the results just came out, grade 12 results. That might not just be the reason. There are also other results that have come out from the exams you wrote last year. So I'm going to say failing examinations is not the end of the world. I want you to know that education, as much as we all agree, most of us, most of you agree that education is very important. You know, we also understand that it's not all the time, and it's not everyone who is educated, who is successful and doing fine. I'm sure you agree with me to a certain extent that not everyone who's doing fine is educated. Yes, of course, I respect education, and I really hope you know, everyone can get the education they deserve. But at the same time, to you girls especially who are ending your lives, we've lost some lives already. So before we lose more lives, I thought maybe if I make a video about this, who knows who's going to come across this video to talk about this quickly. So school is very good. School, investing in education is very important. But when you fail whichever exams, grade 9, grade 12, grade 7, college, university, name them. It's not the end of the world. So get me right. I am not saying education is not important. I am saying it's very important, but sometimes school is not for everyone. Talking from a teacher's perspective, yeah, talking from my own experience, you know, not everyone is meant to be educated, but that doesn't mean that you are less of a human being if you're not educated. Sometimes circumstances beyond your control are contributing or have contributed to you not being educated, to you not passing the exams that you undertake. So it could be, you know, psychological, it can be social, it can be physical. Maybe you haven't been feeling well psychologically, maybe you have a lot of things to think about. Maybe you've been worrying about where the school fees are going to come from, and that affected your performance. You know, it's a lot of circumstances. But for some, school is not just for them. It's a fact. So now, if school is not for you and you've tried all you can in your own powers and you're not passing exams, you can still make it in life. Remember, as much as I said in the beginning that education is important, but if you cannot pass exams, don't kill yourself. It's not worth it, okay? It's not worth dying. Because you agree with me that you've seen people who are successful despite them not being educated. You'll be surprised that some people who are doing very fine economically are just like, maybe they're just grade 4s. And sometimes those who are very educated with PhDs have no job. But you who is just a grade 4, you are even doing better because you used your skills, your talents, and your gifts. Everyone is born with a talent, a gift, a skill. You can still make it if you use your brain well. As long as your brain is working, you're not going to suffer. You can do a lot of things, you know. You can make money, you can make a living out of anything that your brain can tell you to do, as long as you're interested. So there's no need of you killing yourself. If you failed the exams, now let me concentrate on the grade 12s. If you think, oh, maybe something, I was not ready, or peer pressure or anything, go back and register. Some of you will bring in issues of, I don't know if you're still paying for exam fees, I don't know right now, as it is with the new government. But you're supposed to, you know, find means. I know money is a problem. Find means and go and resit those subjects that you failed. Sometimes you can be reciting subjects year after year and you don't pass. What next? Are you going to kill yourself? No. If you find that you're not passing, despite you making efforts, despite you studying, you know, come on, use your brain. Do something. There are a lot of things you can do. Some of them don't require money. Even if they require money, you have to use your brain. You can go and do a piecework and get a capital and start something that will sustain you. You'll be surprised. People have told stories of how they started and they've made it. So don't just sit and cry and kill yourself and be depressed. It's not worth it. So if you've been failing, Okay, fine. If you rewrite and you pass, well and good. Then you'll find something that you're gonna concentrate on. If you wanna be whatever you wanna be, go ahead. But I'm talking to those who think they have been, okay, fine, maybe they think, oh, I did all my best and I've not done well. Okay, go and try again. If you try again and don't do better, try again if you want. If you try again and you keep failing, try something else. Find capital. You can find capital in many ways. Humble yourself and go to someone, do a piecework, get paid. Even if you start with a 2,000, save, do something from that 2,000 to multiply it. You can do farming, you can do gardening, you can do, if you are good at hair braiding, you can braid your hair. If you are good at, oh, I can't even, some people are just gifted with what they do. Huh? Anything that you think you can do it. And, oh, education has failed, so find something to do to sustain yourself. There are a lot of things that you can do. You can, you know, I can't even manage mentioning things that you can do. A lot of things that you can do. So that means you will, you know, invest your time in that thing that you're going to start doing. And of course, education helps you to read, to calculate. Well, these days, if you have a smartphone, it's going to help you. Of course, speaking English is not all there is. You know, people, no one has ever died from not speaking English. You know, people, I know people who cannot speak English, but they're doing fine. Okay? That's where that saying, I'm not saying speaking English is bad. That saying of saying speaking English does not put food on my table. I'll give you a very practical example, and I hope this person is not going to think I am, okay, I'll not mention the name. I think that's better. You all know some guy in Lusaka who is very talented. If I went there to him today, you might not recognize me. He does the hair, you know, exceptionally well. Somewhere Makabwata kuja. So that person even says at ine shasa ambidila. He doesn't hide, but look at the car he drives. How much money does that person have? He's building. He looks happy. We are not perfect, so I don't judge him from any other perspective. He's very hardworking. He says na pelele fe grade 4, kashinga ni grade 3 Chasa ambidine. When it was time to go to Lusaka July, and this guy was trying to interview him in English, he just said, please use the Chibemba. Pantine. Chasa ambidila, which is very good. The attitude he has is very good. He's got money. He's made a living out of the skill. You know, when he does hair or makeup, it's always on point. You know who I'm talking about. Sometimes I'm not going to mention the name, but I'm sure you know. I've given you hints. So, you can get some inspiration from such people like that person. Yeah? Some of you are very talented. The way you do nails. You can start with your friends and they pay you a little and then you keep practicing until you become perfect. Then you can make it. You know? So, school is not everything, but it helps you. But even if you are not educated, if it fails, do something else. Some of you are very good at farming. You could do some farming, you can, you know, you can do anything to sustain you. Days go on and you're having money. The money that comes from someone who's educated enters the bank, and the money coming from someone who's not educated is the same money. So, why are you going to kill yourself? Think about it, There are a lot of things you can do. Some of you are so talented. You know what? We are different. We complement each other, one another. Well, you know, I cannot do everything under the sun. But there is someone somewhere who is good at doing that. Some are very good carpenters. Some can paint houses like it's very easy. Some can do things which a person who has a PhD cannot do. That's life. That's how we complement each other. If we all were doctors, if we all were accountants, lawyers, who would be... You can even humble yourself and go and be a maid. The thing behind you, the drive, should be that I want to raise money. I want to raise money to start a business. If you're not good at business, not everyone is good at business, actually. Some people are very bad. They end up even using up the lead to capital they have. So it's not for everyone. Find something where you have the strength in. Understand? So, it's been like a joke. Like, there was another time, it was trending on Facebook, people getting lost. Yeah, children getting lost and found. Others were found dead. When something starts to trend, like now, it's trending that people are killing themselves, committing suicide, when they don't pass examinations. No, unless there is some other psychological problems you have. But come on, failing examinations should not make you kill yourself. For what? You can make it in life even if you're not educated. Money is money. You will make it. We all need money to survive. You will not enter ShopRite and pick things and walk out of the door without them shouting at you that you've stolen. So, whatever you do, some of you are very, very talented at doing things. Some of you can bake cakes that people will start wondering. Some of you can, hey, you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. So, the vote, please, Lekanai. The results came out last week, and people have been posting of girls, come on, being, victims of suicide. Come on, for what? You've got a life ahead of you. Go and try and write. If it doesn't work, do something. If you say, no, I don't have capital, then the brain is not working. Yeah? Reduce yourself. Find something to do to find the capital. Of course, you are not going to start asking whoever to give you capital. You can do it. You have the brain, you've got the hands, you've got the legs. Even if some people don't even have legs, but they still make it. I've seen people without legs, even without hands, but they do things. They can swim. Come on, you've got something, a drive that drives you, in you, which you should concentrate on. If school fails, that is, even if people have passed, they can have 6 points. They go to the university, they graduate, they go for a master's degree, they graduate, they go for a PhD, they graduate, a doctorate, they graduate. But at the end of the day, those people might not even be doing, fine. You, who is just a grade 4, can do better than them. So, I just thought, let me talk about this. I don't know if it's making sense, but I think it is. As much as we want to invest in education, but it's not all there is, of course. It's important. Don't get me wrong. Don't put words in my mouth. It's very important. But if it fails, then find something else to do. Prioritize it. But if it doesn't work, find something else to do. There are a lot of things you can do. You should even look at seasons. Look at seasons. If it's mushroom season, we like feeling ashamed, especially in my continent, my country. Don't feel ashamed, you know. If it's a mango season, go somewhere where there are a lot of mangoes. Go to Chongwe, for example. I'm just giving an example. Go and buy mangoes in bulk. Bring to town where people don't have mango trees. If it's mushroom, go. If it is caterpillar, go and look for them and come and sell. If you want to go and find carpenters Yavonga in Mpulungu, go to Nakonde, go and buy rice and beans. Sell to the people who can travel. You know. So, please, stop killing yourselves. You leave some of you are very young. Why are you killing yourselves? You leave your parents crying. Why? Your siblings and all who love you because you failed the examinations. No. Let this come to an end. Yeah? I'm sure you agree with me that it's trending on Facebook of girls killing themselves. So, try again, of course. Try. If you try 2 times, then it's not your thing. Go find something else to do. You have something in you where you think, when I do this, I'm perfect. And, you know, you should motivate yourselves and be positive and, you know, don't let anyone bring you down. You know, there are a lot of things you can do. I've told you what to do if you don't have capital, for example. You might not have people to help you with capital, but you have the brains. You know, don't feel ashamed of doing things. Let them laugh. When they laugh, they laugh. Yeah? Some people just like laughing. When they're laughing, then when you start doing fine, then they start telling, you know, stories of how you began. A very good example I've given you of a guy who does hair in Lusaka, and when he does the hair, you're satisfied. If I go there, he knows, he looks at you, he looks at the shape of your face, and obviously maybe the head. He knows what suits you. That's how good he is. But he didn't go to school. He cannot speak English. That's when he's annoyed, he goes on live and start telling people English does not put food on your table. It's true. That Range Rover he drives, it's very expensive. If you know, I can even give an example of people, another person you know. Look at yourself. Sometimes you should even look at yourself and see, oh, me, I'm beautiful, I'm tall, you know, I can do this. You can do modeling. You start learning. You can contest. Keep trying. One day, you will find yourself one of the top models. You start from somewhere. I can't overemphasize this. I'm sure I've gotten the lesson from this and what I'm trying to drive home. So, as usual, this Namwanga lady doesn't want to make so long videos because she thinks about you and bundles. I understand. It's not easy for all of you, some of you, to buy bundles, to, you know, to get some videos, you know, to watch some videos. So that's why I think it takes a lot of bundles to watch videos. So I consider you, and I like to make at least short videos so that you can watch and learn something from that. So that's all I had for you tonight. And I'm happy I've talked about this, and I hope it's going to save 1 or 2 lives. Okay? So I'm going to leave you now because now it's late, especially for you in some countries, so that we can rest. It's a new week. So some of you, you know, are going to hustle, as it is called. You wake up in the morning around 5. Big ups to anyone hustling in different ways. When I wake up around 5:30, I'm driving to work. I see buses. You know, here we use minibuses like Marco Polos. Those are minibuses, big, full of people. It's 5:30, 6. Then I think, So these are going somewhere to do something productive, because you cannot wake up at 6 and get on a bus, especially when it's cold like now. So I get motivated, like, oh, when I leave, for example, I leave at school around 6:30. I find the teachers already there. I get inspired. I say, oh, so these people also woke up early just to come and receive these children. I get inspired. When I arrive at work, I see how people are rushing to be at work, you know, in time or on time. I get inspired. So when I see marketeers in Zambia with those baskets going to Soweto, waking up, maybe some of them wake up at 3 just to go and receive, if they want mushrooms from Mukushi, they go at 3 just to go and, you know, be the first ones to buy those mushrooms. I give respect. Big up to all you who are hustling. Yes, education is important, and I am an advocate of investing in education, especially for girls, because they are vulnerable. That's why I created that page, which maybe some of you already like, Miss Education Zambia, investing in the best investment ever. Empowering girls with the best investment ever. Miss Education Zambia, empowering girls with the best investment ever. I'm talking about education. There, I motivate young girls, you know, who have not reached university, or just like these grade 1 to 12. I advocate for them not to invest in having children so early, in getting married, investing in marriage and thinking when they get married they're solving a problem. I also include parents who think some parents are, you know, are not doing well, they're struggling. So they think by having a child, a girl child, and sending them to a marriage, sometimes these girls are not even in love with those men the parents are choosing for them, if it happens like that. So they think it's capital because they'll get dowry, they'll get cows, they'll get goats. I also advocate for those parents to think twice. They are not solving any problem, they're just creating problems when they marry off their daughters. So I always advocate for parents to send their girl child to school. Some of you say, what about boys? No, boys are not very vulnerable. Girls are the ones who are vulnerable. You all know that, especially in villages and rural areas. So I'm an advocate of education for girls, and I do it wholeheartedly, you know, from a teacher's perspective. So I'm still emphasizing education is very important, but it's not for all. And if it's not for you, maybe you failed 2, 3 times, it's not the end of the world. You can still make it. Okay, use your brain. Free of charge. You've got the brain free of charge. Don't stay idle. Let your brain think of something else you want to do. There are a lot of things you can do. Some of you, your hands are very, very skilled. You can do whatever you touch is perfect. Even if you make bitumbua, even if you make scones, anything you can do, you can survive. Okay? So, anyway, nalaila kudala. Have a good night time. Yes, I love you all. Girls, stop committing suicide because we failed examinations. So I end here and I say good night. Have a pleasant sleep. Okay? Bye-bye. Keep smiling and be positive always. Okay? Bye-bye.